Hello and welcome to our Retire Early lifestyle in small town USA, fixing up an old house without a pile of cash. Did you know that moving to a new city or state in the United States is one of the most stressful events in a person's life? Relocating is number 3 out of 10 most demanding and exhausting things a person does in their life. This is very telling. I want you to remember this as we provide you with this information today, because people are moving to places in the USA that may or may not be up to their expectations. All across America, from the West Coast to the East Coast, you have what is considered as abandoned or dying small towns or cities where people seem to be leaving in droves. And it's true. Close your eyes and pick an area on your map and look it up for growth. The smaller townships and even some of the smaller cities are dying out from lack of people moving there. And this is a global thing. What's going on? We're going to talk about what's going on and also give you the top 3 reasons why this might be happening. We're going to start out by taking a walk through one of the typical small towns in America, and that brings us to reason number 1. Lack of jobs, careers, and small business opportunities. When you visit these townships and you walk through the downtown area, you'll always see a courthouse, a post office. If you take notice, you'll see even more county administrative works. Maybe you'll see the water company, a title company, etc. If you observe real well and look around, there will be more insurance agencies than any other type of business. Go check it out for yourself. Now, as you continue walking down the street, there may be a bunch of businesses boarded up, and once in a while you might see an antique shop, a knick-knack gift shop open. But go ahead, walk on in, and you'll soon find that the prices are out of sight for the same items you can buy at a thrift store or Walmart for half the price. More than likely, it's the big corps and institutions that are still standing in these dying areas, not the mom and pops that are struggling. Most of these high-priced mom and pop businesses won't last long, and if they seem to be there forever, the owner probably owns the building and lives upstairs. Commercial real estate is cheap in some of these places, even cheaper than a home. So anyone can buy a cheap brick and mortar and start a small business this day and age, but with losing populations, it might be a risky venture. In a nutshell, the small mom and pop businesses are competing with big corps such as Walmart, Costco, and Ross's Dress for Less, which eventually puts a little guy out of business unless you're a very creative type and sell your service or product in a way that no one else is doing it, or no one else has that service or product. This is how you have to compete with the big corps. You have to be different. But unfortunately, before long, you will have copycats doing the same thing because, well, that's what copycats do to get ahead. They copy successful people. They will steal your idea or product or service and do the very same thing down the street from you. We know this happens firsthand because it has happened to some of our acquaintances and to us in our service businesses we owned in our younger days. So back to our walking tour. Continue walking outside of the downtown area and you might come upon a few fast food restaurants like Taco Bell and McD's, and of course there will be a few other scattered businesses here and there such as a mechanic, small hardware, nail salon, etc. We have several small hardware stores in the small town we live in, and every time we go in there, you can hear a pin drop. Then we go to Lowe's, and it's really, really busy. Now let's talk about the cause and effect syndrome. The cause is big corps taking over small businesses. It is difficult competing with big corp in a small town. It's surprising there are big box stores in these quaint little towns that shouldn't be there. Towns under 3,000 population and they have a Walmart and Sam's Club? That's wild. No wonder mom and pop businesses are continually getting boarded up. And the effect is the business-minded folks and the young people end up leaving and moving to a more populated area of the state, where they leave the state altogether so they can start a business that has the potential to be more lucrative. Everyone wants success when they start their own business. And the younger people leave the township they grew up in so they can get a more lucrative job or career. There are going to be way more job opportunities for the young people in, say, Austin, Texas, than there are in Carthage, Texas. Young people also leave because they're bored. The town is too laid back and there are very little social interactions for the young people. Okay, so that is the reason number one. Lack of economic opportunities and jobs, and the young folks and the business-minded folks leave the small towns and small cities for more lucrative jobs or business startups and opportunities. This makes a lot of sense. The second reason is a biggie in our estimation, but one that is often overlooked by most people. Small towns and cities across America are losing populations because there is far too much promotion for only certain states and towns. You know what I'm talking about. 10 best this, 10 worst that, 20 cheapest this. It just goes on, and the same states and towns end up getting favorited over and over again by different vloggers and the media. It used to be that people had to get in their car and drive to a bookstore and buy the Places Rated Almanac to find out the best places to live in America according to their preferences, personality, needs, and wants. This is when Americans actually did research for themselves. There was no one doing it for them, so they had to do it. Because back then, with no internet, people couldn't simply follow crowds aimlessly like they do today when choosing where to move to. They actually had to choose where to move to by their personal preferences and wants. Wow, what a great idea, huh? That meant there were no trends to speak of, or if there were trends, it was not getting the millions and millions of eyeballs every single day like what we're witnessing today on the internet. The trends are quicker and stronger today. So before the internet, people simply moved where it made the most sense for them at the time. You know, where it suited their needs best. In a nutshell, and this is important, Americans choose the city, town, and state they would move to. No one lured them there on false hopes and dreams of a better life. There is a lot to unpack in this nutshell, but you get the idea. In contrast now with the internet, Americans have it way easier. For one, they don't have to read anymore. They can just watch and listen to someone else tell them where to go. Isn't that neat? It may be easier, but in the end, it is much more likely not to work out. Do you realize the magnitude of this chaotic cycle? In essence, this is a real live mega trend. Well, let us tell you. We've been through this before, and well, it's a turnkey operation. People come and go like the wind. Example, there were and still are hordes of Americans moving to Portugal because, hey, that's where everyone was going between 2018 and 2023. And well, the travel abroad media and vlogger gang named it the best place to live 3 years in a row. It must be good, right? The very same thing is happening right now with certain states and towns in our great USA. Dare I mention any names? We all know the states that are overly promoted and which ones are underly promoted. It puts the USA as a whole in an unbalanced situation where when just a handful of states or cities are constantly promoted by the vloggers and media, that's where everyone goes. It's like the Retire Abroad Media Top 10 Best Countries. Well, the USA's Top 10 Best States. It's really no different. So the bottom line is, people are moving to where the promoters say are the best places to move to, not where they are best suited to be based on their personal preferences and needs. So that's not going to turn out so well for many people, and this is why relocating is often stressful, and people often become depressed and lonely because they relocated to the wrong state, city, or town. And our last reason is the copycat media. What do we mean by that, you may be wondering? Not only are there tons of promotions for certain states and towns, but there is also the copycat media we're contending with. And so they don't even go to these states or towns, but they make videos about them being the best this, the worst that. The copycats are the AI videos with a fake voice, fake AI images and clips that get tons of views for simply copying from other video creators that may or may not have done the research. The AI is just hopping on the latest trends and fads according to the views and traffic, not whether there is actually any merit to any of it. And so there is just too much over promotion of certain states. So let's go over the 3 reasons and then we'll end the video. Lack of opportunities and jobs. The young people and business-minded people are moving away where there are more opportunities. Too much promotion, luring millions of eyeballs to relocate to 10 or so states or cities. Copycats copying the promoters because they get a lot of views. So why are we sharing all of this information with you today? Well, because you need to know that it isn't all just because of lack of jobs in the area that causes a town to dry up and become abandoned. It also has a lot to do with all the hundreds and hundreds of vloggers and the media telling people where they should go and should not go, specifically where to move to in the USA. Funny thing is, retirees might find the laid-back small-town lifestyle a welcoming sight. And so would certain digital nomads that work online. And so would anyone who is trying to live a more peaceful lifestyle with less crime. And also, some of these small towns may be a good area for a homestead, and they may even have homestead exemptions as well. So I wouldn't stick your nose up in the air at some of these smaller towns. They might just be the perfect ticket for a lot of people, okay? Alright then, we hope you found this information useful and interesting. We aim to provide our viewers with the other side of the story and the perspective that rarely is shared online. Because, well, it doesn't get the views like singing the songs of the Pied Pipers. Have a great rest of the week. Be blessed. Take care. Bye-bye.